Good afternoon, everyone. I will be talking about a competitive advantage of a quality management system today. My name is Jigisha Patel. I work for Spectrum Chemical Manufacturing Company, who happens to be also a manufacturer and the supplier of various chemicals. We have over 200,000 different chemicals and lab supplies and equipments from various manufacturers. We work with over 250 different manufacturers around the globe. We also serve about 120 different industries. That also includes the biopharmaceutical, biotechnology, and medical devices companies. We have in-house lab testing capacity, and we work with various customers and provide all different types of supports that they need. Today in this presentation, I wanted to talk about a case, various examples of where a quality management system can go wrong and where a good supplier can support us, right? So let's ask a question as an industry leader that what are some of the consequences happens when a quality management system fails? Here is an example of a particle size variation. So in this specific example, what happened is customer received a shipment of sodium phosphate, and the product did not meet their expectations. And during the investigation, it was discovered that product was clumping, and the issue here was the particle size. During the investigation, they figured out that product's particle size was changed, but there was no notification to the customer. So as an industry leader, can we ask this question to ourselves that could there be a specific or significant change in particle size that happened during the process change? Did the supplier educate this customer prior establishing the specifications? Do we get all full supply chain transparencies that we need? Here is a second example. This is a change control. As we all know, as industry leaders, that major or minor change that happens in product manufacturing or processing affects the final product. So in this specific example, what happened is researchers observed a different type of sales growth. When they were doing their research, they saw their cell growth was decreased. During the investigation, they found out that the reagent that they used has changed, and specific change happened was in the pH of the biological buffer that they were using. During the investigation, they learned that this biological buffer was actually a non-GMP, non-graded buffer, and the manufacturer of this buffer did not communicate the entire change, not knowing that this buffer is used in the GMP production. So the question to ask ourselves here is, do we know our full supply chain as a customer as well as a suppliers? Do we know where our products are ending up with? And do we know that what type of change, what type of information our customers require from us? Here is my favorite example. So what happened here during Summer Olympics in Beijing, China in 2008, manufacturers found out that there was some change in supply chain, and they started following the supply chain because of the interruption that happened in certain amino acids. And during investigation, it was found out that the customers who was investigating many customers who were investigating this supply chain, they figured out that China was not even an actual manufacturer. Some of the products were coming out from India. So as a supply chain leaders, do we know our full supply chain? We all know that FDA also advocate a full supply chain transparencies for APIs and excipients. And Q7 is the biggest example, right? We want to make sure that all the products that we are using in biopharmaceutical manufacturing has a full supply chain transparency. And as a customer and as a supplier, we want to make sure that we are getting communicated on these changes that happens. The all three examples that I just talked about, can we all agree that if we had a full functional quality management system, this and similar examples can be avoided or could have been avoided? A question to ask ourselves here is, are we a satisfied customer? A customer dissatisfaction happens when products does not meet our expectations, either as a customer or a supplier. A high quality product isn't just the product that is safe, right? Safety comes first. Of course, safety matters, but high quality product also performs as expected and matches the specification, and sometimes it should exceed the customer's expectations as well. Some signs that product does not meet our expectations as a supplier or a customer that can include higher product returns, customer complaints ratio is more, negative product reviews on social medias, or sometimes customers' websites or suppliers' websites also gives us a good idea on that. Low customer retention is one of the key factors too, where we know that the products are not meeting the expectations. So we need to ask ourselves that as a customer, am I satisfied customer? Or as a supplier, am I satisfying my customers? What can go wrong will go wrong, right? The biggest challenge we see in the industry is keeping up with a reliable and stable supply chain and the product. For examples, few of the examples I've listed here, but let's talk GMPs. We all say that we follow GMPs, right? But at what level? GMPs and 21 CFR has multiple topics and multiple bullet points that we should be touching it. By us just saying that we are following GMP covers everything. Quality agreements, simple, right? The quality, if you are following all GMP levels, then why is it taking us as a suppliers or a customer too long to get quality agreement accepted with our customers? Training, it sounds so simple, but let's ask a question to ourselves when we have a complaint or a CAPA investigation going on. Let's close our eyes for a second and ask a question to ourselves. That last 15 customer complaints that I worked with, how many were them was associated with training issue? Another example is clean rooms, right? We say that our clean rooms are state of the art and we have every possible dot that is connected, but are our clean rooms really clean? And if that's so, why is one of the major complaint that we receive or we face as an industry leader is foreign materials? Sometimes we found broken pallets, wood chips, and sometimes we also found even a bird feather. I've seen example in the industry where we found a bird feather. Change control. Are we getting a full change control? Quality audits. We all say that quality audits are a mirror of our GMP or quality system. Are we conducting effective quality audits? Are our suppliers supporting us for the audits? This is an industry poll that I was able to gather from one of the popular social media sites. Over here, if we see it, 35% of our industry leaders are saying that developing and maintaining an audit program is the biggest challenge. 25% of our industry leaders are saying that regulations is an issue and finding a time to audit is also a concern. Can we say that if we or our suppliers have an effective audit program, and if they start sharing their internal audit reports or their external audit reports with us, would that help us managing the supply chain challenges that we are facing for the quality areas? Are our GMP audits covering all areas that it should be? As we all know that majority of the time, the auditor spends a time on documentation practices. Are our documentation practices up to date? In this case, Spectrum's quality management system can be extension to your quality management program. We have to make sure, as an industry leader, manufacturers, that ingredients that we are planning to use or are we using are validated, safe, and effective. You can have a quality without compliance, but you can never have a compliance without quality. And that's where supply chain leaders, we need to make sure that we have effective supply chain transparency, where we are getting GMP certified materials, the sites that we are working with are FDA registered, the products that we are using are following USP or any other appropriate monograph. Products are made hygienically. You have a full supply chain transparency. If you're using an API or excipients, we have to make sure for all APIs you have an NDC code, and not only a supplier's NDC code, we have to have a manufacturer's NDC code. Are all of our products meeting monograph requirements? Are the products whoever is supporting the products, are they doing full testing to the monograph requirements? Are they storing our products right? Are the documentation practices that they follow makes full, open, transparent documentation? We all know that as an industry leader, we in the pharmaceutical industry, we produce documents and we produce products. But anytime when there is an audit happening, regulatory bodies or our customers who are auditing us, they want to see the documentation first. First, they want to see our documentation practices, our SOPs, work instructions, internal audit processes, equipment validations, calibrations, and all GMP related stuff, batch records, full transparency on the batch records. Can the product that we are using in our biocertified manufacturing can be traced via lot to lot variations? We all know that if it's not documented, it was not happened, right? So we want to make sure that are we getting a full supply chain transparency and documentation from all of our suppliers? Are our suppliers following good documentation practices? And our audits that we plan to conduct is covering all these practices as well. We also know that scientific documentation is just not only providing the CFAs. Unlike other systems, Spectrum's biocertified products provides a full specification, product specification, a safety data sheets, manufacturing process flowchart. Process flowchart is very important in supply chain because if something changed along the process, it's an indicator of a process flowchart. Are you getting a process flowchart for all of your biocertified products? Are you getting BAC, TSC, or animal statement? Are we getting a proper labeling? Because as we all know, the product label should match the CFA. Is our products our product label matching with the CFAs? If the CFA says it's a USP grade product, as the label says it's a USP grade product, we also want to make sure that everything that is labeled is correct and matching the GHS guidelines for all biocertified products. All the hazard identifications are labeled correctly. There's a lot to consider on the label. And when we review our product and documentation, we want to make sure that we are getting what we deserve and what we are requesting for from our suppliers. Spectrum has 3 different locations, 2 in China, 2 in USA, 1 in China. And we have a full supply chain transparency. We provide different testing. We do customer specific testing by using state-of-the-art microbial testing facilities. We have a state-of-the-art instrumentation program and SOPs and work instructions. We also want to make sure that all biocertified products that we use in upstream and downstream products meets all regulations and meet all compliance related matters. We have a various amino acids, buffers, and inorganic and organic salts, sugar, vitamins, and we have various solutions that we provide as a full supply chain transparency as well. In summary, I want to make sure that we all understand as a quality leaders, as an industry leader, that a comprehensive QA program can give us a competitive advantage in the market. For example, frequent problems that we are facing is product rework, non-conformances, cost, downtime, a product inconsistency due to a product's performance issue, sometimes lack of supplier support. These are the frequent problems we face as an industry leader. What could be the solutions? When we have a problem, we want to make sure that our suppliers are providing us a documented process and the full technical support that we deserve as one of the valued customers. We want to make sure that our suppliers have a full change control, product specification management, full supply chain transparency. Maybe a ticketing system would help because sometimes we have so many back and forth for one simple email. And by the time we go back to our suppliers, we have to start from scratch. We forget where we started. So some type of ticketing system can also help. Lead time management. How many times we have to face a downtime as a manufacturer because our supplier did not manage the lead time properly. Custom packaging. We all know that sometimes our facilities, our packaging room cannot accommodate a full big load of super sack or a full drum. Is our supplier or can our supplier provide us custom packaging? This sounds very small, but when we look at our entire quality management system as a whole, the small things matters big. And we want to make sure that we as a valued customer getting all proper support we deserve. Here is the link to our website where we have a white paper that anyone from this site can download for free. This web page also consists a white paper that will give us a key consideration on managing supply chain. It also includes best practices in testing, purification, micro testing, also provides reagents and trends on equipment, also cost benefits and purification, retesting services, and any other raw material or biocertified raw material related question we as industry leaders have. I also want to say that if you have any question on this presentation or any of our biocertified products or whatever we talked about in today's slide, you can reach out to me via email or reach out to any of our Spectrum representative by clicking our link or via email address. If you have any questions, we have 1 minute left for question answers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.